He did fetch me 18 books his first couple days going out, and it was about 200 profit, and I think it was 19 books. So I owed him $38, but he went out for like 6 or 7 hours. So I kind of felt bad. So I ended up paying him like an extra 30 or 40 bucks. So it came out with buy costs and paying him about 100 bucks for 200 profit. Some of them were long tail, some were quick flips. So not bad for the first time. What's happening, everybody? Steve here, Raiken Profit. We're in Las Vegas for the eBay Open, and Zach, why don't we come inside and show them what is going on? I was gonna go .com, but I didn't know how many people were in the hallway. So we've got ourselves a nice little executive suite. We're here in Las Vegas for the eBay Open. This is my second year coming. If you guys aren't sure what the eBay Open is, it's just a seminar. It's a conference where I think multiple thousands of people get together and they do speeches, panels, there's networking sessions. There's just a bunch of really good stuff going down. We're here in the executive suite. We're at the Mandalay Bay. I mean, we'll swoop around and give you guys a little tour really quick. I mean, there's one cool thing in this bathroom, and it's a TV literally embedded in the mirror right now. So that's like only a Vegas thing right here. Got a nice king size bed. Unfortunately, Zach and I, behind the camera, we're not gonna be cuddling on that. There is a pull-out sofa bed, but just a nice room. But what I wanna talk to you guys about in this video is something really cool. I just hired a book scout. So I hired a guy. If you guys follow me on Facebook, I put out a job posting and I was looking for a book scout, someone to scout books, find books for me that I'm gonna sell on Amazon, because one of the biggest things that I'm struggling with is time management. I'm so busy with the real estate business now, having my property. I'm looking for a second one. I'm selling on Amazon. I'm hunting books. I've got this YouTube channel. I've got quite a few little businesses going on, and I just don't have a lot of time. So I hired a book scout. And really the only reason why I did it was because of Caleb Roth's software, Scout IQ. He just launched, I think like 2 months ago, a new feature to the software that's called Team Mode. So essentially what you can do is you can add somebody onto your Scout IQ account for only 10 bucks a month, and you can set up your own triggers. What a trigger is essentially just like a rule that essentially says, yes, I'm gonna buy the book, or no, I'm not, based on your profit margins, the e-score, the ranks, different things like that. So he launched this software, and what you can do, I'll tell you more about it in a minute, but what you can do is you can add somebody onto your account, and when they go and scan books, you could actually put it into something that's called hidden mode. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit more. Let's go sit down. I've got my phone out because I'm gonna give you guys a little, kind of like a little rundown of my game plan. But yeah, that's what I'm using. I'm using Scout IQ's Team Mode, and 10 bucks extra a month to add a user onto your account. They get their own login, they get their own password. So I put out a job application, I found a guy. I'll talk more about it in another video. But essentially he gets his own login, and I built out my own custom triggers, taking into consideration the extra amount of money I'm gonna have to pay him per book. So I'm actually gonna be paying him $2 per book to scout for me. So all he has to do is log into his Scout IQ account, go and scan books, and here's the kicker. This is the greatest thing I love. Big shout out to Caleb Roth of Scout IQ. If you wanna check out Scout IQ, I'll put a link down below, raikenprofit.com/Scout IQ, free 14-day trial. But he created this thing called hidden mode. So think of it this way. One of the biggest worries we have as a bookseller hiring a scout is, imagine you hire somebody and they're out scouting books for you, and they're scanning books. What do you think is gonna happen when they scan a book and they see that it's $80 profit, or $60 profit, $50 profit? It's gonna be human nature. Eventually, they're gonna either start selling the books themselves, or they're gonna start putting them to the side, so on and so forth. Well, what hidden mode does, and I'm gonna make videos about this and show you guys in depth, but I just wanna introduce like this concept and what I did. When you scan a book, instead of it giving you all the data and analytics, it just says yes or no. There's a check mark or an X. How powerful is that? So all you gotta do is set up your custom triggers, which again are just rules based on the rank, on your target profit, on your buy cost, so on and so forth. You just set up your triggers. It's really easy. I'll make some videos about it. And all you gotta do is set up a new login and password for your book scout, and when they go out and scan, it says yes or no. Now, this isn't a 100% perfect system. Some books are gonna be accepted that shouldn't be, maybe because it's picking up the wrong listing, or maybe you have a book that's $6 when you have your average buy cost at $2. One of the downsides is you can't change the buy cost, so you'd have to create your own new trigger. I know I'm probably going over your head a little bit right now, but it's just really exciting. And I actually have some notes here that I want to share with you guys about this. So I was trying to figure out if I wanted to pay my Book Scout hourly or per book, and I decided to go per book. I'm actually going to pay them $2 per book. And the reason I did that was because I'd rather have somebody wanting to hustle hard and have like an incentive program in place versus them becoming complacent, paying them 12 or 13 bucks an hour. So as you know, sometimes when you go out hunting for books, sometimes you only find a couple books at a thrift store, but other times you'll find 15 or 20. So the harder you hustle, the more books you're gonna find. So that's what I put together. I also put an average buy cost of $2 per book. In my area, some of the books are $1, some are $3.50. So that's not perfect right there, but I just kind of put an average buy cost of $2. So I'm actually going to be setting up routes for my scout, but my scout's going to be a 1099 contractor. Consult with a CPA or an accountant because there's different rules that you have to follow in order to classify someone who works for you as an employee or as a 1099 contractor. So typically, if you're providing your worker with all the supplies, tools, telling them what to do, and you're giving them everything, usually that's an employee. A contractor's typically a little more hands-off where they have their own tools, they create their own schedule, so on and so forth. They're not showing up to the office. So I'm not a CPA, that's not professional advice, it's just kind of a little input, but definitely do your own research. I'm gonna be having my scout scan in hidden mode. And a little bit about my scout, I'll probably introduce you to him. He's actually an eBay seller. He does have experience selling on Amazon, but he said to me, hey man, I need cash. I'm making money with my eBay business, but it's really not enough at this point. And he's having an issue with cash flow, and that's something that we all deal with when we're first getting started. Our business might be going well, but we're constantly reinvesting back into inventory and shipping, so on and so forth. So he doesn't want to go back to working at the post office, and he's not ready to go full time. So I think it's going to be a pretty good fit. And I'm also planning on rewarding my Book Scout periodically for fetching high profit books for me. So right now I told him, I said, Brandon, it's kind of like experimentation mode right now. We got to figure out what stores to go to, what times. Are we going to hit more libraries, more thrifts? Are we going to set up private picks? Am I going to set up deals where you get backroom access at thrift stores? So it's just a big experiment right now. And I guess my challenges would be, one of my challenges is figuring out the best way to pay my scout. So since he doesn't have a lot of money and he's dealing with some cash flow issues, I have to fund the sourcing for him. So right now I'm thinking about either giving him cash, which I did for the first week when I'm in Vegas, but I think a better option is probably loading a gift card up, like one of those prepaid Visas, or possibly giving him access to a credit card with like a small limit. So let me know what you guys think about that. Another one of my challenges, like I said, is the buy cost issue. Unfortunately, with the triggers, the scout can't go in and change the buy cost, and that's probably to protect us because you want to make it as simple as possible. If you give your scout access to change some of the input, it could mess things up for you. So I understand why Caleb did that, but that's one of my challenges is figuring out my buy cost. Maybe I set up multiple triggers for different locations and then I'll switch it up that way, but that's just one thing that I'm dealing with. And I was also having a bit of trouble figuring out what triggers I should use. So again, triggers are just rules that communicate with the application to tell you whether you should buy or not. If it meets the criteria, it'll give you a check buy. If it doesn't, it'll give you an X, which means pass on it. So I know we're missing out on some books that are probably $4 profits that are good books, but I've got my trigger set a little high for some extra padding due to price fluctuations of buy costs and obviously paying my scout. So just want to kind of come to you guys with this video and show you what's going on. Zach, if you want to pan around and show them the view that we have. If you look out the window, we got MGM Grand out there, Luxor. I don't think we could see the Ferris wheel from here, but that's somewhat part of the strip. There's Aria over there, New York, some really cool hotels. And then we got the airport. I think this is a private airport right over here to the right. So we've got a cool view. Excited for tomorrow to interview a bunch of people and excited about the hiring of the scout. So again, I'm in experimentation mode right now, trying to figure it out. He did fetch me 18 books his first couple days going out, and it was about 200 profit. And I think it was 19 books. So I owed him $38, but he went out for like 6 or 7 hours. So I kind of felt bad. So I ended up paying him like an extra 30 or 40 bucks. So it came out with buy costs and paying him about 100 bucks for 200 profit. Some of them were long tail, some were quick flips. So not bad for the first time, but I'll definitely keep you posted with that. If you guys want more videos on scout mode, if you're looking to hire a scout, if you want to get someone out there sourcing books for you, definitely check this out. If you want more information, I'll share some more with you. But he's actually out there right now, this very moment. He was scouting all day while I was traveling to Vegas. So gonna see how it works. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But with that being said, keep up making that money, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.